Hi team, I hope you're all having a really good team day. I'm sorry I can't be there with you. In my absence, I thought it'd be good to do a video that started to outline some of the planning that we've started doing for the programme for the next year. So I hope you enjoy. The first question that Leonie's asked me to answer in this is what the main considerations have been so far in the planning. And the main consideration so far has been implementing the ADDIE model in the Northwest next year. So that's the process that we're going to use to really analyse the needs of our community, so participants and ambassadors. And yeah, that's what my main work's been around so far. So putting in the ADDIE processes for Cycle 1, Cycle 2 and Cycle 3, and what that actually looks like for us in terms of delivering the programme. So what does ADDIE mean? And what things have I really been looking at in terms of implementing it? So the first one has just been around making sure that we've got the right systems and processes in to be able to collect the right data and consult the right people. So some of the things we're doing next year, for instance, are a pulse survey to participants, but also to all of their support roles, so their mentors, their tutors and their LDOs. So that's the first kind of thing, so I've been looking at mapping that across the year. The next one is what we do when we then get that data from things like Pulse. So putting in, again, processes and timelines in place for myself and Sophie to meet and analyse data, myself, Sophie and Lucy to meet, and then, you know, once we've found themes, then meet with the design team, and I've been mapping that across the year, so that should mean that when we get into the swing of it, we've got all of these things in place and ready to go. The next stage of planning is going to be around putting together a really good operational plan for the delivery of the programme. So currently we've got a really good picture of how we're going to find out what we need to deliver. The next step is for myself and Esther to sit down, and we'll be doing it next week, think about, okay, how are we going to go about delivering all these things and putting in an operational plan to do that. So that's going to be the next stage of development. So the next question I'm going to be looking at is what my vision is for my priority area, so for the programme in the Northwest next year. I'm going to keep it quite short and simple, and I'm going to put my phone down so I can read it, bear with me. Okay, so the vision for the programme in the Northwest next year. So to deliver a responsive leadership development programme that truly meets the needs of participants and ambassadors across the region, I want the Northwest team to be known for delivering outstanding, relevant and innovative provision, and I want us to be a leader in operational delivery. So I want us to be delivering the right stuff in the right way in a really resourceful manner. So the next question is, what is the plan? So I've left you a couple of resources in my absence, the first of which is a breakdown of ADDIE cycles 1, 2 and 3, so a bit of a project plan, or a milestone chart, if you will, that basically breaks down how we're going to go about delivering ADDIE. That breakdown basically shows who we're going to consult, how we're going to do it, how we're going to then analyse the data that comes back, who we're going to talk to about delivering really superb provision, when we're going to deliver stuff, and then how we're going to evaluate it, and that sort of cycle continues. So that's the first sort of resource that I've left you guys to have a look at. The second one is just really simply a high-level calendar plan for next year. So that shows when our conference days are taking place, when our cluster meetings are happening, when our twilight evenings are happening as well, and it also maps out the Masters training dates. I'd be really keen to get your feedback on this. I know you're going to do a SWOT analysis, so you know, have a good read of this plan. You know, I hope it makes sense to you, but feel free to pull it apart. I really want your feedback. The final question is around what are the KPIs for this priority area? And I think before I go into those, I want to just talk about one shift in the programme for next year, and it's one that I'm really excited about. So aside from ADDIE and all those kinds of things, the really crucial difference to the programme next year is going to be that it can be responsive. There's space there to make it something that really works for our participants and ambassadors, which is a huge change. We're not just delivering a nationally set programme anymore. We can really make it work for our participants. What that means, though, is that we really have to look at ourselves if participants and ambassadors aren't engaging with the programme. If they're not going to things, it's because we're not delivering the right things or we're not marketing it in the right way. And I think that's a real shift. It's not going to be a case of, oh, they're not going to this, they're not engaged. It's a case of, they're not going to this, we're not delivering the right stuff. which I think is a really interesting shift. Anyway, in terms of the KPIs that we've got, and they need, I think, a bit of tweaking, but where they are currently is, the first one is around participants and ambassadors feel that the programme is responsive to their needs. So that's the first one. The second one is participants engage with more than just the core offer. So they're going to things, they're engaging in all kind of things more than just the bare minimum. Then the other one is that ambassadors are again engaging with the programme. The next one is that participants progress through the various impact stages. So a specific measure for that would be that by the end of the participants' first year in the programme, 100% of participants that finish their first year would be moving out of the initial impact phase. And finally, the last KPI is a crucial one. Again, if our programme is going to work next year and it's going to be responsive, it's going to have to have been fed into by our community. So the final KPI is that participants and ambassadors are actively involved in shaping the leadership development programme through things like Pulse, the Action Network, ongoing conversations with their LDO or with Lucy. But like, this is their programme, they need to be really invested in shaping it. So I hope you've enjoyed the little video interlude. Have a really good rest of the day. I hope you enjoy looking at my plans to date. They are a work in progress, and I'm really looking forward to sitting down with you, Esther, next week to think about how we're going to deliver this. So yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow.